Sonal. Welcome to Pathshala. And today we are going to start with Chapter 1 of Standard 8 Science, that is Crop Production and Management. Thomas Jefferson has said that agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will in the end contribute most to real health, good morals and happiness. So students, we will first study the important facts of this chapter. We all know that all living organisms require food. Food is basically the fuel for our body. And the energy that we get from food is utilized by our body for carrying out various life processes such as digestion, respiration and many more. So from where do we get our food? We get our food from plants or animals, or both act as the sources of food. Students, what happened in earlier life was that basically people were nomads. Nomads means एक जगह से दूसरी जगह घूमते रहते थे. So they used to eat raw vegetables, raw plants and even animals also. They were not knowing anything about cultivation. But as the time passed and they started cultivating various crops in their fields like wheat and rice, from there agriculture was born. And as the time moved further to grow the crops, they also took help of various animals. So when they took the help of animals, so these animals need to be taken care of. They manage the animals, about the vaccine they should give to the animals, the type of food they should give to the animals, so that the animals can also remain healthy and can help them in their work. So from there, the animal husbandry thing was born. Moving further, we will first study the important terms that we should know about this chapter. First is agriculture. So agriculture is basically the branch of science which deals with the cultivation of plants and rearing of animals. Cultivation of plants means plants ka grow karna, cultivation. And next is rearing of animals. As I told you कि जैसे जैसे agriculture जो है वो आगे बढ़ने लगा, जो farmers हैं who are basically responsible for growing the crops, उन्होंने animals की help लेनी start करी. Now these animals help them in two ways. एक तो वो उनको crop production में help करते थे, and next is they rear few animals like goat and sheep जो उनको milk भी provide करते थे. So next is animal husbandry. What is animal husbandry? Animal husbandry is a branch of agriculture. It is basically that field of agriculture which deals with food, health and management of animals. Next is crop. What is a crop? You know students, जब एक ही तरह के plants को हम एक बहुत बड़े area में grow करते हैं, so that particular area में जो वो सारे एक ही तरह के plants grow करे गए हैं, उसको बोला जाता है crop. So crop is when plants of same kind are grown and cultivated at one large place. So that is known as crop. Moving further, I'll tell you about the classification of crops, that how on the basis of season किस मौसम में crop grow करती है, उसके basis पे हम crops को कैसे classify करते हैं. Now students, why this classification is necessary? Classification of crops is basically necessary so that we can understand the requirements of crop. किस crop को क्या क्या चाहिए, कितना पानी चाहिए, कितनी सनलाइट चाहिए, व्हाट आर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ क्रॉप. सो इसीलिए क्रॉप की ग्रोइंग कंडीशंस को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए, टू अंडरस्टैंड द ग्रोइंग कंडीशंस ऑफ अ क्रॉप, we need to know about the classification of crops. So here we are going to study about the classification of crops on the basis of season in which they grow. First is Zaid crops, second is Kharif crops and the last one is Rabi crops. Now students, what are Zaid crops? Zaid crops are also known as summer crops. As the name is suggesting, summer crops, that means ये summer के season में grow करी जाती हैं. They are sown between Rabi and Kharif crops in the summer season from March to June. And the examples of Zaid crops include seasonal fruits and vegetables such as watermelon and pumpkin. The next is Kharif crops. Kharif crops are basically the rainy crops. Rainy crops, that means ये monsoon season में grow की जाती हैं. Monsoon season में grow क्यों कर रही हैं बच्चों? As you know कि monsoon season में जो rainfall है वो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, तो इन crops को grow करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा पानी की requirement होती है. So they grow in the monsoon season from June to September. And the examples include paddy. Paddy means rice, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton. The third one is the Rabi crops. Rabi crops are basically grown in the winter season, students. Winter season, so we can also call them cold crops. They are grown from October to March and the examples include wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed.